Amara was a beautiful and lively young woman, married to Oak, a strong and respected hunter in the village. After 2 years of marriage, she finally became pregnant, and from the very first month her cravings came like wildfire. Every day, she demanded something new: rabbit, monkey, antelope, porcupine, squirrel, pangolin, whatever lived in the forest. Amara wanted to eat it. Oak was constantly running into the bush to satisfy her desires, and the villagers began to call him the running hunter. Month after month, she devoured meat without shame, while Oak grew lean from the endless hunting. In the 9th month, just 3 days before her due date, Amara screamed that she wanted giraffe meat. Oak protested, saying giraffes were rare and dangerous to hunt, but Amara cried and threatened that the baby would be cursed if she did not get it. Left with no choice, Oak and his friends went deep into the forest, and after 2 days of struggle, they killed a giraffe and brought it home. Amara danced with joy, cooked it into a goosey soup with pounded yam, and ate like a queen. 2 days later, she gave birth to a baby girl, healthy, strong, and beautiful, but with a neck so long, it shocked everyone. Some whispered it was because of the giraffe meat. Others laughed that no wrapper would ever fit her. Amara smiled outwardly, but inside, she felt shame. Soon, she decided she wanted the baby gone. One morning, when Oak went hunting, Amara carried her daughter into the bush, left her beneath a tree, and returned home pretending the child had been kidnapped. She rolled on the ground crying crocodile tears, while far away the baby cried weakly, cold and hungry. By fate's mercy, a barren woman named Dinma, mocked all her life for never bearing children, passed that way carrying cassava. She heard the cry, found the baby, and her heart melted. She picked her up, named her Cheese. God answered me, but always called her Zara for short. From that day, Dinma raised Zara with love, calling her my sunshine and my miracle. Zara grew quickly, but her long neck made her the target of cruel laughter. At school, children called her Giraffe, refused to play with her, and even threw things at her. She would cry in Dinma's arms, and Dinma would always tell her, "You are beautiful, my daughter. Don't forget that." By 17, Zara had become a fine young woman, smooth skin, bright eyes, gentle voice, but the mockery never stopped. Girls at the stream giggled that she should live in the forest with giraffes, and they nicknamed her the girl who could see tomorrow. Yet one man did not laugh. Obiora, the richest gold seller in the village, noticed her. He sent food and gifts to Dinma's house and greeted Zara kindly. Even when she ran away in shyness, his interest drew the jealousy of Chisholm, his proud girlfriend, who stormed to Dinma's house with her friends to insult Zara. They mocked her neck and warned her to stay away. Zara wept bitterly, wishing she could cut her neck off, but Dinma comforted her. "What God has made beautiful, no mouth can spoil. Your neck is long enough to hear heaven faster." Eventually, Obiara's persistence and Dinma's encouragement gave Zara courage. She agreed to marry him, and their wedding stunned the village. Zara walked in a white gown, her long neck adorned with layers of gold, shining like a queen. Those who had mocked her whispered in regret, amazed at her beauty. After marriage, Zara lived in Obiara's mansion, the largest in the village. When famine struck and rivers dried, Obiara's stored food and deep, well-kept them safe, and Zara shared freely with the starving villagers, even those who had once laughed at her. One day, an old hunter came begging for food. It was Oak, her real father, though neither recognized the other. Later, her birth mother Amara appeared at the gate, frail and broken, confessing she had abandoned Zara out of fear. The villagers gasped as the truth came out. Zara forgave her, but declared Dinma her true mother, for she had chosen her in love. From then on, Dinma was no longer called barren, but honored as the mother of the queen. The villagers no longer mocked Zara's neck. They celebrated her as Zara, the golden-necked queen, the woman who turned shame into glory and whose kindness fed an entire people. Though Zara had forgiven her birth parents, she never forgot the years of pain. Yet instead of hardening her heart, she allowed compassion to guide her. Under her care, the village flourished again. She and Obiora opened their storerooms to strangers, shared water with neighboring clans, and even welcomed travelers who had heard of the Golden Neck Queen. Children, who once pointed at her now, clung to her wrapper, calling her mother. Women who had once whispered cruel jokes now sought her advice. Even men who used to laugh behind her back bowed respectfully whenever she passed. And through it all, Dinma remained by her side, no longer the lonely barren woman, but honored as a matriarch, respected for raising a queen. Still, Zara's heart carried questions about her father. She did not know that the frail hunter who often lingered near the gates, staring at her with sorrowful eyes, was the same man who had once cried for the loss of his stolen daughter. Oak longed to reveal the truth, but shame and fear held him back. He thought Zara would hate him, not knowing she had already shown mercy greater than he deserved. As years passed, Zara and Obiora had children of their own, and the same villagers who once mocked her prayed for their daughters to be as graceful and favored as Zara. Her golden necklaces became a symbol of dignity, passed from mother to daughter, as a reminder that what the world despises, God can exalt. Elders told her story by firelight, teaching children never to mock the different, for the child they despise today may be the very one who saves them tomorrow. Even Amara and Oak, humbled by time and regret, found a measure of peace in seeing their lost child rise higher than they ever imagined. Zara, however, did not seek revenge, nor did she boast in her triumph. She lived humbly, giving more than she kept, and teaching her children to do the same. The people never again called her Giraffe. Instead, they called her Zara, the Golden Queen, the woman whose long neck once brought her shame, but later became the crown of her greatness, shining as a legend that would live on for generations. Over the years, Zara's name spread beyond her own village. Traders carried stories of the beautiful woman with the golden neck who had turned famine into plenty and shame into honor. Chiefs from distant lands sent messengers to meet her, some even offering alliances and trade, because they believed a woman blessed with such uniqueness surely carried divine favor. Obiora's wealth grew, but it was Zara's wisdom and kindness that drew people from near and far. She settled disputes between quarreling families, advised chiefs during council meetings, and taught women that dignity did not come from beauty alone, but from courage and mercy. Her children grew up in a house where laughter replaced mockery and where every meal was shared with others. And Dinma, her foster mother, sat in the courtyard every evening surrounded by grandchildren who called her mama, her old tears wiped away by the joy of family. Still, deep in Zara's heart, there was a quiet wish that one day her true father, the frail hunter who often hovered near the compound, would find the courage to step forward. She sensed something unspoken in his gaze, but she never pressed, for she had already chosen love over bitterness. When age began to silver her hair, Zara gathered the children of the village and told them her story by firelight. She spoke not with anger, but with laughter, showing them that what had once been her greatest shame had become her crown. She told them, "Your difference is not your weakness, it is your gift. Protect it, honor it, and never let the world steal your joy." The children listened, and the elders nodded, for they had witnessed her journey from mockery to majesty. By the time Zara passed into old age, she was remembered not only as the wife of Obiora or the daughter of Denma, but as the mother of the people, the queen whose golden neck became a legend. Generations later, when children asked why no one in the village mocked others for being different, their mothers would answer, "Because we once mocked Zara, and she became our savior." And so, long after her voice was gone, her story lived on, reminding everyone that the stone rejected can indeed become the cornerstone, and that a girl once called a giraffe became the shining crown of her people. After Zara's passing, the village entered a new era shaped by her memory. Her children, raised with her lessons of kindness and strength, grew into leaders themselves. Her eldest daughter carried her mother's golden necklaces and was admired for her wisdom, while her son became known for digging wells that never dried, saying he had learned from his mother that true wealth was not in gold but in water, and food that sustained life. Denma, though old and frail, lived long enough to see the village transformed into a place where no child was mocked for being different. People began to name their daughter Zara, hoping the spirit of the golden-necked queen would live in them too. The once barren woman became the grandmother of a new generation, her small compound now filled with laughter songs, and grandchildren dancing around her mat. Even Amara and Oak, who had once abandoned their child in shame, found forgiveness and were allowed to live their final days in peace within the same village, always treated kindly by children who honored their mother's choice to forgive.